Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A beautiful and empowering piece of artwork at a school ruined by a vandal's hateful message.
One-on-one with Detroit's former police chief, who's about to announce his run for governor. We asked James Craig where he stands on the conspiracy theories about the 2020 election.
A store synonymous with happiness and celebration becomes the scene of a terrorizing crime involving employees and customers. We'll start there tonight at 6. We are hearing from the shop owner who survived a violent and frightening robbery in Livonia.
Yeah, she says when two men walked in dressed alike, she began joking with them. Then things took a very serious turn inside the Celebration Station at 6 Mile and Middle Belt. Local 4 defender Sean Lay is there live tonight with more on what happened and the effort to find who did it. Sean.
Absolutely, Kimberly. Livonia police telling me tonight they are chasing down every lead, also asking for your help to find the two older men who went inside the Celebration Station balloon shop right there. Church letting out just down the street noon yesterday, and then not just robbed the place, but terrorized the people inside, including a 6-year-old little girl picking out balloons with her mom.
To have to see this little girl in shock and tears and be placed laying on the ground is just heartbreaking.
You can just about feel the fear that is still shaking Joan Bates tonight. Sunday, one man in his 40s walked in, red hoodie over his head, red bandana over his face. He said he needed balloons for his niece's birthday. And then another man in a red hoodie and red bandana walked in behind him. In a pandemic, Joan didn't think anything of the bandanas.
I said, oh, look at you two are twinning it today. I said, well, does she like butterflies, mermaids? And I put my arm up like that, and then he came up behind me and put his arm around my neck and told me, I'll use nice words, but I said, are you really kidding me? This is happening right now in a shop with a little girl. He said, shut up, stop talking, I'm gonna kill you.
Both men made everyone, 6-year-old girl included, lie on the floor. One knew to hit just the right button to open the register and take the cash. The other forced Joan to hand over her cash box with her rent money inside, then slammed her niece up against a wall. Then they tried to tie Joan and her niece up with balloon ribbon.
I can't believe you're going to use balloon ribbon to even wrap us up. You're a pathetic piece of scum. For somebody to come in and to violate such a fun place is just disgusting. You've taken a lot from me. You've taken stuff from my niece. You stripped a little girl of her innocence in somewhere that's fun.
Back here live, Joan says she's praying the two men get caught, but also praying for the two men tonight. These guys doing all that for about $600. The first man described as African-American, 40 years old, 5'7", medium build, black pants, black shoes, along with the red hoodie and red bandana. Suspect number 2, 30 years old, 6'1", medium build, wearing the exact same thing. They also stole a cell phone from the customer who was inside with her daughter. Look, police have been out looking for video. No video cameras at the Celebration Station. Very few cameras in this area. We've been up and down the street also looking for video. Police may have some possibly tomorrow. We continue to look as well. Kimberly, Devin, we thought the community would wrap their arms around Joan and her shop. Right now, a GoFundMe just went online, $3,500 heading towards $4,000 to help her out right now.
Yeah,
back to you.
Certainly clear just how traumatized she still remains after this. Okay, Sean, we appreciate your reporting tonight.
We had some very loud thunderstorms bringing torrential rain to parts of southeast Michigan this afternoon.
Yeah, we really did. Paul, hopefully the worst of it has moved on, but tomorrow's storm threat still looking significant.
Absolutely. Right now, if you're heading out, things have quieted down significantly. That's at least the good piece of news I have for you. Just a few very weak little showers here, well north of I-69. So if you're in Sanilac County, for example, you might have a few of these little sprinkles, little light showers over the course of the evening hours. Not a big deal. Right now, temperature-wise, Adrian is down to 78. Adrian has been in the 80s today because the warm front is just north of Adrian. But look at the rest of us. 65 in Pontiac, 69 in Howell, 72 over in Detroit. And you can see the wind generally in easterly direction north of that warm front. And now it looks like Adrian maybe has just shifted back to the east. So maybe the front sagged a bit. But the bottom line is, as Kim just mentioned, we have a robust severe threat for tomorrow evening. So we're going to break this down in a lot of detail coming up in just a few minutes. But right now, don't forget, if you don't have the Local Forecasters app, if you're one of the few that doesn't have it, it's the nation's best weather app, and you're going to need it tomorrow. The real-time radar will let you see where everything is right at that moment and where it's moving. Just download it free from the App Store. Search under WDIV. See you back here in a few minutes, guys.
All right, Paul. Moving now to the coronavirus and the updated case numbers from the state.
Michigan reports 6,093 new cases over the past 3 days. It's an average of a little more than 2,000 new cases per day. The state also reports 29 new deaths.
Meantime, the state reporting 71 new outbreaks at schools. So that's more than double the 31 new outbreaks that we reported last week. Tomorrow on Local 4 News Today, we'll look at which schools are being hit the hardest. We'll look at the trends impacting our area tomorrow morning at 5 and 6 a.m.
Henry Ford Health giving an update on coronavirus in its hospitals, saying 95% of its beds are being used.
We need more people to get vaccinated because we really can put this behind us. We cannot afford to have the numbers of COVID patients in our hospitals and community go any higher. We have gone through 3 major surges, and we are seeing the signs of a surge currently with the numbers of hospitalizations increasing across the state.
Henry Ford also saying today 98% of its employees are compliant with its vaccine mandate. Employees who do not get the shot or an exemption by October 1st can resign or be fired.
Now a Local 4 News update. Displaced by the gas leak at Ford's Flat Rock plant. Families there getting a sense of when they can return home. The mayor of Flat Rock telling Local 4 he estimates families can start going back home in a week to 2 weeks. So still a wait. Meanwhile, testing continues at 1,100 homes in the city. Ford has agreed with state environmental officials to fully investigate the gasoline leak and to create a timeline. An in-person open house and town hall is scheduled tomorrow at the high school football field. Residents can ask questions directly of representatives from Ford and the state.
Police and school officials want to know who's responsible for a sad act of vandalism at L'Anse Creuse High School over the weekend. Crude and offensive remarks were written over a piece of art a recent grad was allowed to create in her former parking space. Victor Williams spoke with that young woman who's taking this personally.
You know, it's rare that high schoolers get their own personalized parking spots with their own artwork and designs, but that's why the victim in this situation is so devastated, because it really meant a lot to her.
I'm feeling very disgusted and sad that people like this actually do this to me.
L'Anse Creuse High School graduate Isis Kamali was heartbroken seeing her once proud parking spot now totally vandalized with hate-filled rhetoric.
I hand drew everything. I did it with chalk to make out the fist.
It took Isis 3 long days to complete the painting with a personal statement.
I wanted to do this to show what I'm going through and that my skin basically matters.
And just seconds for someone to plaster the spot with tire marks and racially insensitive messages.
A lot of their parents out here in this area were coming after me, saying I was racist for doing Black Lives Matter in this parking space.
But look at what ultimately ended up happening. Isis says she, however, has an idea of who may be responsible.
I actually graduated with him. He drives a red truck, and he had like a Trump flag on there, an American flag, and he would actually always come in this parking lot acting a fool.
Either way, the Macomb County Sheriff's Department is now looking into the matter, but the L'Anse Creuse School District sent us this statement, which reads, "This past weekend we had an unfortunate incident of vandalism in one of our parking lots. The authorities have been contacted and a police report has been filed. We are still investigating the vandalism, which involves adults that are not current L'Anse Creuse students."
It's sad that I actually went to this school with students like this.
As far as what's next for this parking spot, we're told that a group of current students may be coming together to repaint the message that was once there. Victor Williams, Local 4.
Former Detroit Police Chief James Craig going to announce his candidacy for governor tomorrow. Now, to date, he's not been open about how he'll position himself against Governor Whitmer, but that's changing now that he spoke on 101 with our Rod Maloney, who is live in the city tonight with what Craig had to say. Rod?
Well, Devin, we all know he's not a politician. He openly admits to that, but he has been prepping quite a bit for tomorrow. One of the things he says he does know is that the state is divided, needs to come together, and he believes leadership, his leadership, can make that happen.
Some folks are not being talked with or to. Solutions are being made unilaterally. So I think it's important to have a person, a leader, who understands the importance that this is not just about Democrats or Republicans.
There have been pressing questions about where Craig stands on serious issues, like whether he believes former President Trump lost the election in 2020.
I've seen nothing, no investigative work completed that suggests there were improprieties. I do agree, though, that many Americans, many Michiganders have concerns about the election, and we should be open to address that.
As for Republican efforts to increase election integrity, including voter ID,
I've been showing ID for a variety of reasons. Buy a car, buy a house, insurance. That's not racist. It's applied equally.
The former president's influence looms large, and Craig is good with that.
I've voted for him twice. There are many of his policies that certainly I agree with. You know, my focus right now is 2022 and what's happening, what's good for Michigan. That's what's most important. Certainly I was asked the question if certainly the president endorsed me, I'd welcome it.
As for fiscal policy,
and the number one complaint is government overreach and also these handouts and the continuation of the handouts, and it's killing the small businesses.
Now, we met at the 10th Precinct, which is where former Chief Craig first took on the oath of, the oath to be a police officer back then. In the meantime, we have been reaching out to other Republican candidates because in as much as we gave him the time to find out his positions, we want to find out what the rest of the Republican field is feeling. And so we're making those calls now, looking to get their thoughts in the days to come. Back to you.
Well, Ron, how does he look then to differentiate himself from the current governor?
One of the things that he said was that he has made it a practice since he was chief of police here and in other cities to go and talk to people who don't agree with him, to sit down and actually try and work out solutions with the people who don't agree with you. He says that's what needs to happen in Michigan. He believes that hasn't been happening under the governor.
We'll follow the announcement this week. All right, Rod.
We will. Okay. Still ahead. Here at 6, a unique new outdoor attraction. Find out where this eye-catching structure will be built and what you can do when you visit.
Also, in schools where masks are optional, students who do wear them can be easy targets for bullying. Up next, an expert with some parenting advice on preventing and dealing with mask shaming.